Hao, Xinyan Kuai Gang Hei Fak Choi. Hey everybody, it's Sirant over here, live, direct, in China, of course. Pardon me. It is Chinese New Year Eve. I had my big dinner, and it's about half an hour before the actual Chinese New Year itself, and I thought I'd head out onto the dark and dangerous streets of South China, show you what's kind of going on. Not sure how well you're going to hear the festivities and activities going on. It's not nearly as loud now as it was, but then again, we're about half an hour away from the big celebration, so who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll get louder, maybe it won't, but I figured I'd do a little live stream anyway and share what I'm seeing with you. I just had a fantastic, huge dinner at home with a really good buddy of mine. Invited him over. We had a giant feast, some wine, some good conversation as always. But I'm not going out partying or looking for trouble tonight. I am simply enjoying the evening. I'm kind of at the crossroads nearby on the main street in front of my neighborhood, in front of my community, I should say, in my neighborhood. I've got McDonald's right over there. I've got Luckin Coffee right over there. And believe it or not, although mostly everything is closed right now, McDonald's is open on Chinese New Year. Not sure how many of you are out there, but if anybody does join the stream, please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear all the explosions and booms and bangs going on. I figured this corner might be a good place to see some of the activities, because most of the people will come out of their communities to blow off their fireworks, simply because the management companies and security guards don't like it when you do it right in the community, especially in the middle of all the buildings, because they boom and bang like crazy. It's like a war zone sometimes. But this is Huiyang. It's not a terribly populated area. Not at least the part of Huiyang that I'm in. So there's not a lot of people out. A lot of people have already gone home for the evening. But yeah, I hear booming and banging. Let me just move the tripod and go over here, and we'll see if I can find something interesting to see. So over here, like I said, we've got McDonald's. It is open 24/7, even on Chinese New Year's Eve. Got those snazzy flashing lights across the street are for a very large KTV, if KTV happens to be your thing. I'm going to put the tripod over here and just see. I'm going to leave it pointing yonder for a while and see if we can't come across any fireworks going on. Oh, come on, people. You must have been able to hear that. If you are hearing that, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you hear anything at all. Live streaming in China is a bit of a crap show at best. It doesn't always work. But I'm using my Hong Kong SIM card right now, so it should be doing better. Oh, I see we've got 3 people watching at the moment, so that's good. Like I said, if you're not hearing anything, I guess you wouldn't hear me saying, let me know. But let's just keep the camera focused on these buildings here. And if anything happens in either direction, I'll just swing the old tripod around, and we'll see if we can't find something interesting. As I mentioned, I'm not going out tonight. I'm not much of a New Year's Eve guy. Never really have been. Even when I was back in Canada in my youth, all those many years ago, it was never a big deal. Well, we've got some small time action going on across the street. It is only 11:30, so there could very well be a large outpouring of people coming out and setting things on fire and making them blow up as we get closer to midnight. But we'll have to see. Tonight, not only am I the only white guy in the neighborhood, but I'm definitely the only guy out here with a tripod doing a live stream. This I can guarantee. I suppose I could really, honestly, hop into a DD and go to one of the large neighborhood malls or areas where people congregate. Down by the beach, it would be quite a party, I'm sure. However, I'm just not in the mood tonight. I wanted to get kind of the local neighborhood action. This is 100% my kind of scene. Oh, here we go. If we go down, look over here. Let's see, can I zoom in? Oh yeah. Some small explosions again down the street, just down the block. Across the street from where I am right now is the hospital. So there won't be much going on in front of the actual hospital. But I'm thinking at some point we'll see a bit more. Unlike Shenzhen, as you can see, there's not a lot of traffic that goes on in my neighborhood. I mean, this is 11:30 on Chinese New Year's Eve. You would expect a hell of a lot more. And if we were in Shenzhen, anywhere in Shenzhen, you would see a hell of a lot more. But Huiyang is much more of a retirement community, which, as I've mentioned many times before, I kind of like. I don't have a problem with that. This weekend I did go visit a friend in Hong Kong, and it was glorious, simply because in the past, to go to Hong Kong from Huiyang, which is a completely different city from Shenzhen, I used to have to take a DD to the train station, take one high-speed train into Shenzhen, another high-speed train into Hong Kong, a lot of walking, a lot of waiting, and then once in Hong Kong I'd have to take the MTR. Very crowded, not it's convenient, but it's not fun. But now I've discovered there's a bus that goes directly from the front door of my building to the border crossing, and then another bus directly into the neighborhood I go to in Hong Kong from the border crossing, which saves me about 100 renminbi in each direction. There's 10 minutes worth of lines and walking, and the rest is just all sitting comfortably on a bus, reading a book, playing with my phone. You can see the plumes of smoke across the street. It doesn't normally look like this on a regular night. On a regular night, it's much more clear here, but yeah, this is nice. Couple police cars cruising around, but really there's not a heck of a lot to do for those guys here. It's a slower moving community. Tomorrow should be a fun day as well. Tomorrow I might actually break down and earlier in the evening hop into a Didi and head to one of the more lively areas so you can see that as well. But tonight, since I had the big dinner at home, I thought I would just share this rather Sirant style little gathering. A little more traffic zipping by now. I can see much further down the street there are fireworks going off as well. I'm going to move a little bit here just so that you can see something a little bit more festive while I'm chatting with you. I feel a little bit of drizzle in the air. That could be fun. So one night I go out to do some live streaming. This is a little kids area that by this time at night would always be closed, but there's a Ferris wheel, there's a teacup ride, trampolines for the kids, and other little activities, but of course they're all closed at the moment. But yeah, I'm wondering if I will actually see anything exciting tonight or not. One would hope, but one never knows. Like I said, straight down this road ahead, like right this way. If you follow that one down as far as she goes, you get down to the Auto area, which is kind of the beachfront, and there is an enormous night market there. If you want to see street food, fresh beer, thousands of people, that's the place to go. Maybe I will talk to my brother and tomorrow night perhaps he and I will head down there in his car and I'll do a little live streaming there as well. He's a fun guy. I've decided that when I do go out and hang out with him in the wee hours of the evening for different fun activities, I think I'm going to start live streaming those just so you can see these really crazy nights out. Chinese people love going out at night, eating, drinking, and just generally having a great time. And it's a lot of fun, but I'm old. I think I mentioned this before. And yeah, I just don't have it in me the way I used to when I was a younger guy. I have had quite a few more 4 a.m. evenings here in Huiyang than I have had in the past 20 years anywhere else. But it's good. It's good. I don't mind. But yeah. When the crew gets together, I go with a gang of guys. One guy we call the Pirate. The other guy we call the King of Auto. Another one of them is Xiaopang, Little Fatty. And sometimes they'll bring their girlfriends along. Other times other people will just show up. And that's typically when the beer starts flowing and or the baijiu, the white wine, which if anybody ever invites you out in China for white wine, it ain't wine. It is hard liquor. We're talking moonshine, 53% or higher. Yeah, it'll knock you on your ass. It's pretty heavy duty stuff. But it's fun. But I'm going to start live streaming some of those events. I've made a couple short videos to show you some of those parties, but when these guys get going and they start playing their games, wow, it is something to behold. Very quiet. Lots of young people riding around on their motorcycles.
新年快乐！
新年快乐！
新年快乐！新年快乐！开始怎么样？
嘿，
新年快乐！
新年快乐！Hello。
现在开直播吗？
是啊。
来耶！你是新疆人吗？
是啊。
阿达西。
阿达西。Hello。
你好。阿达西。
你们去哪里啊？
你在哪个平台直播啊
？No， 没有。
没直播，开你的。
对。
阿达西，拜拜。阿达西，拜拜。
哎，拜拜，新年快乐！
拜拜。
Bye-bye. Nice kids all riding around their motorcycles. They're probably about 15 years old. Looking for fun. That's the way people are here, though. You know, you'll get groups of people just stopping. Kids will come talk to you all the time. It's a lot of fun. 新年快乐, for those that aren't sure, just means Happy New Year. But they're all having fun. Even though it's a slower night, they're probably heading down to one of the party areas to have fun with their friends. Probably going to be eating. And who knows, even though they're young, they might be drinking. But you don't see that as much here as you do back in Canada. The young people here, drinking is not a priority, which is great. I'm very happy about that. It's much more a priority, I find, for young people in North America, where New Year's Eve is the night of the year to get blasted, but it just simply doesn't happen that way here. There's a few people across the street with sparklers, whipping them around. I'm going to try to zoom again here without actually... The problem is when I zoom, it brings up this dialogue on the screen that says learn more, and then it'll open up a web page, which is bad because then that stops the stream, and I don't want to stop the stream. Okay, the people over there, they're spinning around the sparklers. A car is parked in front of them, so we'll wait for him to leave. Let's see if you can see that now that I've zoomed in a bit. Oh yeah. Of course, as soon as I get the camera on it, it stops. Bonne année de cheval. Hey, bonjour. Oh, that was very close. Just had a motorcycle go very unnecessarily close. There's this huge sidewalk here, like we're talking massive, and that lady just came within millimeters of me. But hey, we're all good in the hood. Yeah, what time is it now? Let me check my phone. Happy New Year, everybody. We're 10 minutes away from the big event. And like I said, I'm hoping that we do get some people coming out at that time and lighting off some fireworks. Hey Mario, good to see you, brother. We're almost there. We're almost at the witching hour of midnight here. Quiet night, perfect night. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sitting here just in a t-shirt, and there's no mosquitoes. It's not raining. It's probably about 20 degrees out here right now, with the heat index about probably 22. 8:49 in Alberta. Perfect. That would be AM, of course, on Monday morning. So who knows, maybe a bunch of my viewers are still waking up. Yeah, it's been a loud day with the fireworks, the firecrackers booming and banging as they do. There are fireworks going off literally in every direction, but unfortunately the camera's just not going to be able to pick all that kind of stuff up. Yeah. Let me see, I'm going to move this over a bit, because that might be picking up some of the tripod. We don't need some tripod. -8. No, thank you. No minuses for me, please. More than content. More than content with my winter. This year, actually, winter here in China or in South China here in South Guangdong has been amazing. For the past few years since I've been back, we've had a few weeks in December and January where it was bitterly cold. Like, we're talking cold to the point that I was wearing a parka, a toque, a scarf, gloves, long underwear, and sweatpants with 2 pairs of socks on in my house. It was that cold. But it only lasts for a week and then it's gone. Whereas here today we got up to the mid 30s with the heat index. And then this is a perfect night to be going out. As far as New Year's celebrations go, for places like Auto, down the street we have Wanda, which is a huge street food and shopping center area. There's another one just a little bit closer, actually, about 20 minutes walk if I wanted to go, or I could hop into a Didi and I'd be there in 10 minutes. Yeah, I am starting to see. I just missed it. As soon as I turn the camera on these places, the fireworks stop. I just saw some spinning discs go up into the sky. And I don't want to stay zoomed in all the time because then I might miss a different angle. Let me see. $17.51 in South Africa. Welcome to you, my friend in South Africa. Glad to see you. Now, somebody please tell me if you can hear that or not. I had my headphones on earlier and people couldn't hear it, but how could you not hear that? Wow. There's nothing to see. That's just the chain of fireworks that you light at one end and they just boom endlessly. But that's a good 2 blocks away from me too, so that's not close. But that certainly is loud. I am definitely hoping that as we get closer. Now, you probably won't be able to see this either, but if we look up at the sky here, you'll see, okay, you've got to be seeing that. Those are fireworks, huge fireworks somewhere off in the distance. Now, a lot of these communities will set off big fireworks shows for the people inside, but they'll typically do them earlier, around 9 p.m., so that the kids can come out and enjoy them. But this will go on till 2 or 3 in the morning at least. Yeah, that's not lightning. That's a big fireworks show. I would suspect that particular show that we can see the flashes of in the sky, hey, Young, that's probably from a little square nearby where during the daytime on the weekends they have a huge outdoor market as well. It's the best thing about my brother. He's lived in this neighborhood all his life, so he knows all the best places to go and experience these types of things. But the booms and the bangs are picking up as we get closer to midnight, so I'm thinking very soon we're going to start getting some action. That was a big boom. That was a big one. Love it. Now, all of that is happening down this direction, but they're not sending up fireworks. They are setting off firecrackers and explosive devices. I'm hoping we're going to get something nearby. There's somebody from either my own community, which is just down the street, or one of the large communities across the street from me right now. I'm hoping somebody's going to come out with a couple big boxes of actual fireworks. The people across the street on the corner have run away, which is fine. I don't purchase fireworks or firecrackers myself. There's a big boomer. One interesting thing that I'll tell the more adult of my viewers is right directly across from where I am now, right over here in these complexes here. There are a number of massage parlors, and they are those kind of massage parlors. They do exist in China, obviously. However, there's one place in there where I go for massage typically once or twice a month for a barbaric massage. It is a traditional Chinese massage. There's no funny business, which is good. That's what I'm looking for. But the young lady, so slight, so small, you'd never guess it, is just a master at stretching you out in such a way that you're almost wishing that the massage would be over, at the same time that you're enjoying the fact that it's happening. It is painful, but when you come out of there afterwards, you feel better than you have in years. It is truly amazing. Also on the other side of this complex right here there's one street that goes down from here all the way down as far as you can see. You can kind of see a smoky area with a light on down at the end. That entire row is, again, street vendors. So if I ever did feel like getting fatter, I could go out at night and there would be just a plethora of wonderful and delicious foods waiting for me over there. This neighborhood is just truly, it's amazing. It's literally got everything. Of course, it's got all the standard fare, hardware stores, package pickup places, pet stores, banks, restaurants. So many restaurants. Across the street here, if KTV is your thing, that's a great big KTV. Across the street over there, those bright white lights, that is a dentist upstairs. And coincidentally, downstairs is just a gigantic snack shop. Every kind of snack you could ever want. And then again, as you turn further, we go over here and we have hair salons. We have, again, restaurants, massage places. If we go over here, it's a great big public hospital that I feel really good about having a hospital that close should I ever need to see a doctor, though to be honest, I very rarely ever get sick here in China. Here we've got a play center for kids. Directly behind it is a McDonald's, which is currently open. It is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We've got my favorite coffee shop just behind that. Woo! Wow, okay. That was a big one. Yeah, it's picking up. It's definitely picking up. Like I said, I chose this location right here on the street corner in the hopes that people would come to these open areas to start setting off fireworks. But okay, it's got to be midnight now. And so it is. It is midnight. Can you tell? I'm just going to shut up now because you're not going to hear me anyway. Happy New Year, everybody. CNY Eve. Gong Hei Fat Choi. And yes, you're right. All that bike riding I've been doing has not been doing my waist any favors. But keep in mind, I did have an accident recently, so I was unable to exercise and ride my bicycle for quite some time. And then I got really sick for a couple weeks, so I've been at the downward spiral, but that is all changing. That is all changing. One great thing about the holiday is that I will not be having access to as much delicious, super delicious food as I normally would be, because everything's going to be closed for the next 10 days. There's little fireworks going off right now right in front of my apartment complex, but you wouldn't be able to see it through the trees. But I'm hoping that we're going to get a few more big boomers going on. But yeah, right at midnight, that's when all the big firecracker strings come out. Oh wow, it's just so smoky now everywhere. Like I said, these street lights are not normally like this. I'm going to clean my lenses really quickly here. Okay, that's a little bit better. That could have been some of the humidity building up on the screen as well. Oh, here we go. But every direction. That's quite the good one. And there's just flare-ups in the sky above everywhere. And with the exception of the light shows, you hear this all day long too. People firing off their firecrackers, especially the kids like madmen. Believe it or not, this is substantially more activity than some of the neighborhoods that I've lived in Shenzhen, because so many of the people go back to their hometowns from Shenzhen. Shenzhen just becomes a ghost town. It's amazing. If the camera could pick it up, you'd be able to see from this car driving just how much smoke is in the air from his headlights. It's like a super foggy night. This kind of makes me feel bad too. This dude over here walking his puppy. poor animals, especially when they're puppies, when they're young. They just don't get it. They think the world is ending every Chinese New Year. I suppose after a while they'd probably get used to it, but it's gotta suck. All right. Let's spin around the camera a bit here so you can see the guy talking to you anyway, having fun. It has quieted down substantially, so you should be able to hear what I'm saying. Thanks everybody for joining me tonight. This Chinese New Year, Xinyang. It's a lovely night. Like I said, t-shirt weather at midnight in the middle of winter. You're not doing that back in Alberta. And if you are, you're a madman. Yeah, I've got a nice little hotel right across the street here that were a friend of mine ever to visit. I'd put them up over here. It's about 20 bucks a night. Really nice hotel. And yeah, tomorrow night there will be fireworks and activities as well. It'll go on probably until at least the first week of the holiday is over. But yeah, tomorrow night I'll get my brother Steven to head out to one of the more exciting areas. Maybe we'll go to Auto and go check out that scene. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm really even quite surprised at the lack of traffic right now. And straight ahead, there are some low-level fireworks going off, but typically people will buy a couple boxes of the multi-fireworks units and blow them all off at one time, make a big show, and then be done with it, in the hopes that somebody will show up with another box and light that up for the folks. Sorry if I've missed any of your messages, people. Yeah, they don't stay on screen. I probably should use one of the streaming apps. Yeah, a lot of people have gone back to their hometowns, but as this is not Shenzhen, there a lot of people have stayed. Now, if you look at the apartment buildings across the street from me, that's actually quite surprising, because it is Chinese New Year and a lot of people are staying up to watch the Chinese New Year gala on CCTV, which is a very impressive show. There's a lot more lights on in these apartment buildings now than there normally are. By now, a lot of people have gone to bed, but that's just how empty this area is in Huizhou. This area connects directly to Shenzhen very, very conveniently, and it's built with the intention that in the future, as more and more people reach retirement age in Shenzhen, that they'll be coming here to live out their retirement, still close enough to their friends and their businesses in Shenzhen, but also in a quieter area. So, like I said, this building directly across the street, that's a lot of lights on. If this were any other smaller city in China, wow, there would be a lot more lights on, a lot more people. These buildings would be a lot more occupied, but they're simply not. Which is a big part of the reason that I moved here to Huiyang, is because I wanted to live in a slower and quieter community. And this fits the bill perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. I see a lot of smoke coming from over here. A tremendous amount of smoke, but I'm not seeing any light show. I suppose that could have been a big string of the firecrackers that all blew off very quickly and now are just burning on the ground, so there's not much to see there. But yeah, it does look like it is slowing down. Now, if you were watching one of my happy year of the horse to you as well, Mario. Now, my buddy, Lawai 86, or is it 86 Lawai? I think it's 86 Lawai. He is in a small northern city in China, and I'm sure he's doing a live stream right now as well. And his camera, you probably couldn't hear anything that was going on. He wouldn't be able to speak with you right now because it would just be madness, because that would be the primary hometown of everybody there. You know, we've got 4 people here crossing the street heading home after a late night dinner. But you can tell just from the traffic just how quiet and slow this area is. But yeah, there's just not a heck of a lot going on. I think we've hit the mother lode, as it were, as far as the live streams go. I don't think we're going to see too much else at this point. Again, right in front of my community, I am starting to see some fireworks going off over there. Small ones. There's a big open area over there. Once again, McDonald's is open. If I wanted a cheeseburger, I could get a cheeseburger. Which, to me, is just wild. In a country that is not known for its cheeseburgers. At least it never was before. But the times, they are changing. I moved my location a little bit here from the street front, just so that I could come and have a seat. And as you can see, if you look up, there are still big flashes in the sky. So the night is far from over. Well, some big bangers going on down near where I live. And yes, A&W is great. I do enjoy me an A&W burger. I'm not gonna lie. About 15 years ago, maybe longer, I lived in a part of Shenzhen where the apartment I lived in was facing inwards on the center of the community. And on, well, not just New Year's Eve, but pretty much every day, all day, including most of the night, the firecrackers going off sounded like you were in a war zone. Not even a thunderstorm. We're talking a war zone. It was intense. It was very, very loud. It was just crazy. Since it seems that this area has slowed down a bit, I'm going to start moving back closer to my home, as the little open area over there seems to be picking up a bit. Once again, Luckin Coffee. Best coffee in China, in my opinion. And when I wake up in the morning, if I feel like having a cup of coffee, but I don't necessarily feel like brewing a pot, I can order for $2 and it'll be at my house in 5 minutes. Hot and fresh. Better than Starbucks any day. It is quite dark out, by the way, but this camera on this Chinese phone is amazing. Oh yeah, top tier crazy. This is my gym, 2 swimming pools, lots of fitness equipment, classes. They've got the display of the dolphins out front here. And as you can see, look how empty that building is. This particular complex is damn near empty at the best of times. It is just nuts. Okay, I'm going to come over here and park my camera. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we've got some small time fireworks happening over here. Get away from these lights. Yeah, residential complexes. As my complex, my building in my complex is an internal building, you wouldn't be able to see much. Plus, I'm only on the 7th floor, so wouldn't be able to see much of the festivities otherwise that people in the buildings across the street would be seeing. But this will still go on for at least another 2 or 3 hours, with people randomly coming out and setting off boomers and rockets and things of that nature. Quite quiet at the moment. A lot of seniors, obviously, since this is very much a retirement area, and lots of kids in this neighborhood. Yeah, there's a group of kids just over to the right-hand side that are setting off little firecrackers. Not much to see, but they're loud. Oh, one of the kids was just yelling for his nai nai, which is Chinese for grandma. If we look over here, these people have had this on display for a while, which is pretty cool. They've got their entire balcony all lit up, which is pretty impressive, actually. You don't see this very often. Sometimes people will put red lanterns out, but that's impressive. That's a lot of Christmas tree lights. Let me tell you. Let's keep moving this way. There is a lot of debris around now as a result of all the fireworks. That's a given. But there will be a cleaning crew out in the morning, or possibly even later tonight, that will have this all swept up before most people even start heading to work. This area here is where a lot of seniors come in the evenings. Well, not even just seniors, really. A lot of people in general come to dance and socialize. Yeah, it does seem to be slowing down. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. So yeah, I'll turn the camera back towards myself and chat with you for a little bit longer before I call it a night. Figured I'd get out here tonight anyway and do some live streaming of the New Year's Eve itself. And then, like I said, tomorrow night, perhaps I'll head out to Alto and show you where the real party is. And it doesn't need to be Chinese New Year for that place to be a party. It's crazy there all the time. I'm not gonna lie, I have been there till 4 a.m. a couple times, drinking craft beer and IPA beer off the back of a fresh brew truck. It's amazing. It's cheap. Seafood, barbecue, anything, noodles, hamburgers, anything you could possibly want is there and just ready to go. Amazing. So yeah, right now we've got 3 kids just over to the left of me here with their grandmother and grandfather, and they're out blowing off fireworks. At this point, I think it's all firecrackers, and they're screaming and yelling. They're having a good time. Grandparents are there to make sure that they're okay. But yeah, fun little night. Let's see. Wonder if you'll be able to see them. Once again, happy Chinese New Year, the year of the horse to everybody back home around the world, here in China. The weather is beautiful, absolutely lovely. I feel very, very comfortable. Nice breeze blowing. Whew, that was a big one. I'm glad I came out though. I wasn't sure. We had a nice long dinner tonight. I'll post a couple pictures of the dinner in the community area and show you some of the photos. But just a little recap. We had a gigantic beer duck, a roast chicken, yishang roast made by my brother, which was absolutely fantastic. Drunk shrimp, also made by my brother, which was fantastic. We had a bunch of different vegetables. We had some cakes. What else did we have on that table? It was an enormous meal. Yeah, too much to remember. Too much to remember. Had a little bit of white wine, really nice white wine. Even a couple glasses of whiskey, which was nuts because this whiskey is delicious. It's a local whiskey here that I get delivered to my door for 27 renminbi for a 700 milliliter bottle. That's $5.40 for a large bottle of really quite nice whiskey. Surprised when I first ordered it. I thought for that price it was going to taste like garbage, but it did not. It is actually really, really good. But yeah, the kids are still out having fun. Does anybody have any Chinese New Year plans where you happen to be? Perhaps going down to your local Chinatown. I'm sure there's going to be lion dances and fireworks and lots of good food going on wherever you happen to be. When I was younger, and our daughter still lived with us, of course, we would often go out and see some of the big parties and shows. But these days, I've slowed down a lot, and I like it. I'm not complaining whatsoever. Oh, kitchen duty! Wow. I suppose that could be as fun as you want to make it. What time are we at now? Kitchen duty is intense. I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, I suppose snow and cold weather could be a big detractor from going out and doing Chinese New Year type activities. Again, one of the definite bonuses of being in South China. Still quite a few people walking around though. There are a few places in the neighborhood that are still open other than McDonald's. Just down the street. Oh, hey, helping out the elders. That's fantastic. There's Xinjiang Muslim barbecue just around the corner that's always open. They don't close for Chinese New Year. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is, Young. There is a convenience store down the road that does have the option if they want to close, but as they're the only convenience store in the neighborhood that's open, they're probably doing not bad business tonight. And for the rest of the week, because a lot of these places will be closed. I'm due for a haircut. My hair is getting out of control, but I'm going to have to wait another week at least before I can do anything about that. Directly across the street, if you can see there's an A. That is where I go to get my hair done. The owner's really nice. I always go see him. He knows exactly how I like it cut, and it costs $5 if I don't get a wash, and $7 if I do. Getting your hair washed in China is nice because that also gets you a bit of a neck massage, a scalp massage. They wash it really good before they do the haircut, and then they wash it again after the haircut, so there's no stray hair tickling you. And I can see now there are quite a few people now starting to walk around, and I think it's because people are walking back from some of the community centers and squares where there were activities going on at midnight, so now they're starting to stroll home. Beautiful night for it. You don't need to worry about safety in China. I'm sitting here with an expensive phone on a tripod by myself in the middle of the night. The camera really does a great job on this phone of brightening the picture, but it's a lot darker than it looks on screen. Of course, the obligatory electric motorcycles everywhere. Yeah. I think that's about it. I don't think there's much more going on. Like I said, you will still hear the booms and bangs, and there will still be fireworks going off periodically throughout the night. My buddy, who we call the Pirate, was out earlier in the evening selling fireworks, just as a little side gig, making a little extra money tonight. If you've watched any of my short videos and seen some of the kind of party scenarios I've been at, you'll be able to pick the Pirate out of the crowd. I won't tell you which one he is, but yeah, you'd be able to tell just by looking at him. But yeah, it certainly has quieted down. It's nice. I'd consider going and playing a game of pool tonight, but I highly suspect at this point that the pool hall is closed, not for the night, but for the holiday, because the guys that run the place and work there have likely gone back to their hometowns. So yeah, there you go. Chinese New Year in Huiyang district of Huizhou. Nice and quiet, just the way I like it. Had a great dinner, good company, and yeah. Yes, I hope everyone, whether you're in China or not, does have a great spring festival. Hopefully it's not too cold where you are. I hope you get a chance to get out and have some fun with your friends. But yeah, I think this is... It doesn't even look as smoky out here as it used to a little while ago. So maybe I'll start making my way home now as well. Tomorrow is going to be another fun day. And who knows? I'm seriously considering another live stream tomorrow night. I do have a new video coming out in about 7.5 hours, which might be interesting to some of you, especially those of you who are in Canada or in the UK, because thanks to some very, very prosperous and high-level trade negotiations that have gone on with China, a little spoiler, but if you're Canadian or a UK citizen now, you can grab your passport, buy a plane ticket, and come to China visa-free. Details to come in the morning. Look forward to that. I'm going to talk in that video a little bit about the visa process that I had to go through many, many times, and the difficulties that I had. It was a very convoluted and complex process in the past, but now, like I said, grab your passport and a plane ticket, get on a plane, and you can come to China for 30 days with no visa, no more fingerprints, photos, invitation letters, the necessity of having a hotel booked, return air ticket proof, etc., you're good to go. And I hope you take advantage of that. If you're running a business or starting a business in either of those places and you want to come to China and scope out the factories and the manufacturers for yourself, as opposed to dealing with AliExpress and other online marketplaces, this year is your year. Anyway, I think I'm going to sign off and head back home, have a nice night's sleep, and see what kind of fun I can run into tomorrow. Thanks as always for joining me, everybody. Do a guy a favor, hit that thumbs up. It really does help. And if you ran across this live stream and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I got a lot more coming. I've decided that I am going to start putting out a lot more content, talking about a lot more topics, and having a lot more fun. And I'm going to share it all with you. So 现在我想回家，所以再见朋友们，新年快乐，恭喜发财。See you in the next one. Bye bye.